All right, welcome everyone to this bronze final of the Talent Offer Cup. Today we have these two wonderful players, Grandmaster Jesper Thybo and International Master Linus Johansson, who will fight. Let's see.
First he will eat though, and then he'll fight, right?
Yes. Absolutely. All right, guys. So, are you ready to play? Linus, you said you were a little bit tired after work.
I'm tired. I haven't eaten yet, but I will still try to keep my position solid.
Yeah. Cool.
Very promising.
And Jesper, you're gonna what was it? Wipe the floor with Linus, yeah?
Yes.
I never said that, but I think it will be a very fun match.
Very good. All right, so we have a best of 10 today with 3+2. So the first player who reaches 5.5 will win the match and earn the third place prize of 2,000 Norwegian kroners. Yeah. So that's hopefully motivation enough for you.
That's a lot of pizza, Linus, so you have to be on your game.
But what happens if it is 5-5?
If it is 5-5, then you play 2 and 2 games until it's decided.
Oof. Oh.
Yeah.
What do you mean 2 and 2 games? So what if it keeps time?
Then
Another 2.
Then another 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes, but just crush me after 6, okay?
I like that Linus is playing the bit.
Of course, he always does. All right, very good. I think you can just mute your microphone and then we'll get straight to it.
Okay, sure.
Right, good luck.
That's your nick.
Alrighty then. So, let's see if the guys are ready. Heja Sverige! Ja. Ja, det kan man säga.
Of course. Let's just hope Linus has eaten enough, slept enough, and we'll see if he can
Time control.
put up a fight.
3+2.
We are muted, I think. Yeah.
3+2.
Okay, so I think they've started, yeah.
They have started.
Apparently Linus has forgotten about this, but he's here and he's playing with the black pieces versus Jesper Thybo in the first game, best out of 10.
Yep, and we are viewing this from Jesper's perspective now.
Yeah. So he declined Linus's invitation to a Benoni after d5, but still this is pretty well-known stuff.
Pretty cool. So last time we did predictions, so
Yeah.
this time I will ask you.
Okay.
What do you believe will be the result of this match?
I think it's going to be incredibly close. After listening to Linus's pep talk to himself before the match, I'm gonna adjust my initial prediction, and I'm gonna go with Jesper today. I'm gonna go for I'm not sure. I don't know, 5.5, I guess, 4.5 to Jesper. Yeah.
5.5, 4.5,
Pretty
so
close stuff,
very
yeah.
close, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because, I mean, Linus is an international master and...
Yeah, but basically a GM elect, right?
Yeah,
he's so close to
exactly.
the title, so he's, I mean, in terms of playing strength, he's more than good enough to beat Jesper today, but Jesper is super experienced, he's a very strong grandmaster, and he's the favorite, and currently struggling a bit with his webcams.
yeah, I think I'm gonna adjust Jesper a little bit, because
Yeah.
he tends to...
Jesper's hairline is quite beautiful, as noticed by Asios in the chat, but okay, this is not much better. Look at that stare.
Yeah,
The GM stare, right?
yeah, let's just look at the stare. I think he's
Yeah.
playing on a laptop, and then he's really... He's going into the computer
He's really
pretty much.
going for... Okay, so the position now, a isolated queen's pawn for Linus. So in this kind of position, black depends on activity, and his queen is being sent from side to side here. A3, queen g4. I guess knight d4 yet to stabilize the position for white. And if white manages to trade a lot of pieces here to exchange minor pieces, the pressure against this one in the middle can be quite substantial in the end games. That's something Linus wants to avoid.
Yep. Black also needs to castle his king. Yeah, he prepares for it.
And remember the time control, guys. 3+2. Not a lot of time, do you think?
Storigmannen is commenting here that this is the worst Tarrasch ever for black.
It's a good candidate, Støvik, but it's not the worst. I think I've been on the black side of the worst Tarraschs ever, I think. But
yeah, fair enough.
This is not a great success for black, I agree. But still, it's a blitz game, and Linus is a fighter, so we'll see.
Absolutely. I mean, the game has just started, so this is still in the
Linus is
opening.
eating. Linus is eating his pizza.
Oh yeah, very important with nourishment during your games to stay active for the whole, let's say, 1.5 hours that it will last for.
Lots of energy in that pizza.
Yeah, indeed. Calories.
Calories as well, yeah.
Right, so Jesper is having a thought. Okay.
Nice moustache from Sarah Marie in the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
First person ever who said that, I think, but still, I commend you for your moustache. I do.
Well, you did not do that earlier.
No, but we're live now, so I have to, right?
Yes, that's good to know.
Yes.
That you are more nice to me when we are live.
Slightly more likable when on air, yes.
Yes.
So I guess BA5 now is a natural move.
I wonder if Jesper has a moustache. I guess we'll never know. No. Yeah, you won't ever know because he is deep into his screen.
Yeah, and he goes for BA5, which is natural. Rook B1 in the next move to, I guess, try to pick up this one on B7.
Put some pressure, okay.
Yeah, this is looking quite bad for black, actually. There's no activity for black to compensate for this weakness, and the B file is white's for the moment. So
yeah, but how easy is it, though? I mean, okay, Rook D7.
Yeah, Rook D7 is a move.
And then try to create some pressure against
Rook C8 is also a try.
What's the point? Bishop C5?
This is, I guess, the point for black, yeah.
But then take on G4.
Yeah, and then just recapture, but then you threaten two things, and suddenly we're into Nakamura.
Oh, yes, this is Nakamura style for sure. Okay, we'll see.
Okay, so he takes on B7. We'll see.
Oh, we are getting closer to viewing Jesper's potential moustache.
So close, we can almost... I was about to say taste the moustache, but I don't want to do that.
We had a glimpse
There's nothing there, guys. There's nothing to see.
Yes.
And at the moment, Linus' position is not much to see either. He's a pawn down, thinking about his move number 19, Rook C4, trying to get some activity going now.
But now D5 is hanging us.
He can even take on D5, yes. Two possible moves here for white.
I mean, I guess that's good because knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, knight takes.
Yeah, and you have
E3.
this threat, and then you can take with the knight on E3, right? Yes.
But then F7 is what?
Just to retake.
Yeah.
Rook A7, bishop C5.
Well, it's two pawns, but it's the bishop.
Maybe even Rook A1 is a move. Okay, decides for Rook B5. This is looking like a very good position for white, but it's not over because Linus has the bishop here. He might get this one back.
Yep, A7 though.
A6, right?
A6, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Followed by bishop B7.
Yeah, so I guess moving this bishop now, but then suddenly white can cement this bishop into B7.
And this is like common, I think it's common knowledge, but when you cover the promoting square, that's usually a very big advantage.
Yeah, he can. Okay. So he was also threatening to take on B4, so had to move this bishop immediately. Of course, he can inflict some damage on the pawn structure here, but it's not going to do much difference because this pawn is going to decide for white.
Okay, Linus creating some luft.
Yeah. About time, I guess. They don't want to trade too many pieces now. Linus wants to keep his only asset, the bishop pair, on the board, at least for now, and this is important, of course.
Yep.
To cover the A7 square.
Doesn't look too easy though.
Oh, it's not easy at all, but it's definitely white who's enjoying the winning chances here. Rook D1 now probably to play Rook D8. Possibly, yeah. And Linus down to 28 seconds. Jesper about the same.
Ooh, this is going to be a robbery though. Rook D8. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so knight G2 to improve the knight looks like a very good maneuver.
Fair enough.
Not easy to chase this one out of the corner though.
I was thinking you could go Rook A8 in the end, but I mean Rook D8 and Rook A8. But
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's even a good plan or not. Probably
I
not.
don't think black should take this one because Rook D7 looks uncomfortable, but Rook B8
Okay, did he calculate?
might have done. Could
Okay,
have played.
Knight D8. That's a bad.
Yeah.
Oof,
Could have gone for this as well.
Bad. This is bad for Linus.
This is super bad for Linus. I
F7
think
is
this
hanging. Everything is
resignable.
collapsing. Yeah.
10 seconds to go for Linus. He will probably resign in not too many moves. Rook D7 now.
Okay, fighting on a little bit.
Okay, Rook D7 was probably more precise, but still.
Yeah, this is just a matter of moves, I guess. But I mean, black can play for some.
Yeah, black has nothing to gain by resigning here, but
No.
he's even down on the clock, so it's gonna be a comfortable win for Jesper in the first game with the white pieces against a minor opening disaster, we can say, from Linus's
I think I'm
side.
gonna call it already.
You're calling it already, okay?
Yeah, I am.
And this reminds me of the start of the first match, actually. Johansson versus Linus, which was about the same, the first game.
Yeah.
Opening disaster from Linus and a very comfortable.
Followed by a great comeback.
Yes, so we'll see if he can
3 games in a
muster
row.
up something now. Rook D8 was possible.
Yeah, it was.
But now he's able to exchange a pair of rooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Linus resigns. This was not much. So the technique, though, yeah, not the smoothest conversion, but good enough.
Good enough.
1-0 for Jesper. And Nimzo now.
Yeah. Bishop
Last-
D2, is that common?
It's been played by Granda Zuniga and Grandelius, amongst others. It's not super common, but it's not without.
Alright, so
It's
it's a
points.
Swedish specialty.
Yes, Peruvian, Swedish specialty.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I guess just the point is to avoid main lines and just to avoid this double pawn.
Makes
okay,
sense.
So last time these two faced each other in classical chess, it was also Nimzo with Linus on the white side, and Linus won in convincing style. So we'll see if Jesper can revenge that defeat.
That was in Denmark this summer, am I correct?
Denmark or Sweden? I think it was Denmark.
I think it was Denmark, yeah.
I think that also was Linus's second GM norm.
Right. Yes, you are quite
And this
correct.
is also quite cool. After a pretty normal opening, long castles from Linus.
Yeah.
He really wants to get an attack going now, gaining some space in the center. Of course, Jesper not without his chances on the queen side. He takes this one. Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, by the way, this is going to be our only match in the TalentofferCup where we have 2 non-Norwegians playing.
Right. Yes, that's probably true. Yeah.
So this is sort of the battle of what should we call it?
I don't know.
Of the Nordics.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like this, yeah. Right, Linus is a very creative player, I would say, or he does always find some way to spice up the position.
He does. Yeah. He's very attacking minded. This one. We'll see.
Yeah, Dr. Gravstein, it is what some people call hair.
It's a moustache.
Yeah,
yes.
it has also been called a moustache, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Some
that's
people call it a Movember.
depending on your definition of moustaches.
Of course.
And whether this one qualifies. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave that to the experts.
Yeah.
Dune is probably the Norwegian name for this one, if I
yes,
guess that's correct.
That's probably right. Okay, so this is not the most interesting
This
position I've seen.
looks very good for white, I have to say.
Very good, yeah.
Queen G3, and if you can swap these two, then C7 is starting to get really uncomfortable for black. And there's no counterplay. I mean, you have some pressure against E4, but F3 takes care of business in the center, and this doubling of rooks is very strong for Linus. Who this reminds me again of the last match he had against Johan Sebastian, almost spent no time in this game compared to the first, and he's gotten himself a very good position. So Linus needs to warm up. I think that's.
Linus. Maybe he's this kind of coffee house player where you in the first game you always play really badly just to make your opponent think that he can beat you, and then
and then you
put the money on the table and and win the rest, right?
And then you fleece him, right? Yes. That's perfect. Okay, so rook e5, interesting. He doesn't want to exchange queens, and of course he didn't want to abandon his defense of c7. But if he moves his rook now, then the rook will win.
Right. So how do you push through though?
Okay, so Linus is gonna take his time here, and there's no time. He needs to make a decision. He needs to take this one.
Yeah, but
I guess rook takes.
And then rook takes.
Yes, and we'll have a queen endgame with a pawn down, but after queen c4, it doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, maybe not.
At least there are some chances to... Okay, you have queen d3, queen d1
as well. Jätteklurigt det här va. We have Madeleine in the chat, of course.
Welcome.
Commenting that this is very tricky.
Very tricky. He will take this, I guess, but he could also insert a check on d1, d3. Not sure what would be preferable.
Yeah, it could be a bit tricky now.
Yeah, okay, so queen d3, and we might see a counterattack here, actually.
Rook b5, is that a move?
Rook b5 is a move, definitely. Now, threatening a mate in 2.
Yeah.
Okay, rook c3 maybe.
Yeah, or... Queen f2.
Queen f2 also possible. That doesn't.
That's the perpetual. No, it's not.
Though. Okay, so you have rook c1, right? So rook c3 and rook c3.
But it's hanging a3 in that line, like queen f2, queen b3, king b1, queen takes
queen
a3.
queen a1.
Yeah, but then there's queen d1.
Right, and then you don't have rook c1.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess rook c3 might be the best move.
Yeah.
Tråkig pjäsposition.
He
blunders mate, it looks like. And it's 2-0 Jesper. Wow! Linus, my boy.
Linus. That's...
Okay, so it's time to dig into the pizza, Linus.
Yeah.
And...
more pizza, please.
More pizza.
Yeah, that was a sad one.
And that was... taxi for Johansson at the end there, actually. It was pretty miserable to blunder. Yes. It's something you say if you're messed up in football, I think, then taxi.
Taxi home or...
just away from the stadium, I guess. Yes. Something like that. It's like being sent to pølsebua. Alle pjäsarna måste med på festen, va?
Ja, det måste de.
Yes. Okay, this is Linus's, one of his usual openings, the Queen's Indian, which is quite solid, but Linus needs to win now, 2-0. It's pretty bad, the situation for Linus now.
0, Yeah, and we have one of the finalists in the chat, GM Johan Sebastian Christiansen. Of course, he only wants to play Among Us, which is the only thing he does these days.
Yeah, so I've gathered.
Come again?
Yeah, I've noticed one of my roommates is, playing as well. Pretty loudly. Okay, this is very solid for black after the exchange of pawns on d5, but again we have to remember that Jesper is content with a couple of draws now because he's comfortably in the lead. Yeah, for sure. Linus needs to take some chances.
But I kind of like black's position here. I'm not sure if it's actually... I guess it's quite even or slightly better for white, but...
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't like these two bishops.
No,
they are not very active. I like black's position here, actually. So.
Yeah, okay, good. Then my
sure.
intuition is not too far off.
It's not too far off mine, at least. Not.
Yes,
Queen
Johan
B7,
Sebastian, it's 2-0 for Thybo.
Yes.
Last game, Linus blundered mate in 2.
Yeah, he was a pawn up in after a pretty good game, but he blundered a mate, and in the first game he was the victim of an opening disaster. So.
Yes. Yeah, there's some more talk about the moustache. I don't think we need to discuss that any further, though.
It's been mentioned a couple of times.
Yes.
Knight e4 looks like a good positional move, securing a square on d5 for the queen. Could play rook c4, but then b5, I guess.
Yeah, so let's say we trade off all the major pieces, then I guess...
the rooks at least, right?
Yeah, then I guess black would be favored due to the fact that he has the bishop that is on black dark squares.
Yeah, so his bishop is outside the pawn chain and is reasonably active. This one is not so good at the moment, but it doesn't look like it should be a major issue for white, at least not for now. Okay, a4 is good, preparing rook c4. I guess queen c8 or something will be played. Maybe even queen c7.
Doesn't threaten anything though.
No, it doesn't really do much, and rook c3 is also a possibility to...
But again, okay, so you mentioned that if we trade off all the rooks, but is it in black's interest to trade off the queens as well, or should that just be a draw?
I don't think so. That looks very even to me, but of course black might have some slight advantage due to this pawn being a pain in the ass for white.
Okay, because now we see a invitation for a trade.
Maybe this one will be played.
Can black avoid it? Yeah.
Queen d5, queen
c4. Yeah,
and then I guess something like this, or maybe even f6, f5, but it's hard to imagine that being an advantage for black.
Okay, so he exchanges queens off the board. We have an endgame with equal material.
Do you want to play king g2 f3, or do you want to leave it there? I guess leave it, right? Just leave that pawn on e4 and...
yeah, I guess.
This looks reasonable. The time is pretty even. A small advantage for Linus there.
Time is not the problem in this game.
No, it's not an issue here.
Both have way more than enough time
and this looks,
to figure out this position.
This should be pretty even. I mean, white will just leave these pawns as they are on the queen side and support with the king. Of course, Linus will enjoy his king's position on d5, but the question is, can he make any headway? Well, f5, g5, f4 is of course possible, and a major issue for Jesper is whether to play f3 and break up the center, or if he wants to leave it as it is.
Yeah.
f3 is also possibly met by f5.
Yeah, I was thinking about f5. Is that? I guess that's in black's interest if he wants to play for a win at least.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. Just of course he would prefer the king being on d5 to recapture, but f5 is definitely very logical to just keep this annoying pawn on e4. And besides, it keeps the white central pawns on dark squares, which is important.
Yeah.
As they might become weak in some endgame.
It's hard to win this position, though. I mean,
it is, but I think black is having all the fun here, right?
Yeah, black should be having all the fun.
Look at Jesper's time position. I mean, the clock is ticking for Jesper. 24 seconds.
Yeah, I mentioned that time was not an issue in this game, but
surprisingly often it becomes an issue, right?
Yeah.
In blitz, at least. G4. Might be a plan for white now to improve his bishop.
Usually just want to put all of the pawns on the opposite color.
Yeah, b5, good move, but you don't want to do much here, I guess. Maybe you can take and run to c2. Okay, he leaves it there. That's interesting.
Okay.
And then king b6 or take on a4.
It's not like there's a revolutionary way of winning this, I think. I guess this position should just be draw.
Should be, but okay.
Okay.
He's allowing king to c4. Might not be dangerous, though, if you just make evading moves with the bishop. But this looks very uncomfortable.
Yeah, now I'm not so sure anymore, especially also because of the time.
Yes, I think that's the main issue here.
I mean, bishop e1...
Yeah, to f2, and then suddenly king b4 is a threat now, right?
Yes,
you can't do much about that.
Well, bishop c7, but that's...
I think Linus is gonna win this game.
That's pretty good if he
That's
does.
that's
I mean,
pretty good.
that's-
His opening was solid, and he got a small advantage. At least positionally, it looked slightly easier to play, and then suddenly Jesper didn't find any active plan.
Alright, so what's the saying? You need 2 weaknesses to win an endgame like this? Is that the thing?
Well, he's
Because he has
he's found one,
Yeah.
but he can't allow Jesper to become too active here on the king side.
Ooh,
So
okay, white cannot trade bishops. This is just one.
he
This is
must,
now
because bishop b4 is okay. Bishop a7 was the only move, but
okay,
now
bishop
I guess,
c7 and it's just over.
yeah, or c7 even easier. And this pawn will run 2-1. That's
Alright.
a very nice comeback from Linus, and it's game on.
Suddenly it is game on indeed, and the match is completely open.
Another try in this slightly obscure Nimzo variation.
Obscure, yeah.
f3 e4 the plan from white here to gain space in the center. c5. And now can you play d5? No, because there's not enough support, so he needs to go a3.
What is this?
Okay, maybe bishop a5.
Then b4.
Then b4, you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I would take it, but
Yeah, but then
fine.
you have a major center and open a file. Yeah, I think you would have done that. I think that's compensation actually.
Okay, I am not.
That's me. That's
I'm
me
not,
playing though, but
I'm not so sure. But we have this isolated queen's pawn on d5 at least now.
Yeah,
I
because-
guess d4 is a move. Rook d1 might be coming, but
now f3 just looks too silly, right?
yeah, I mean that's why I guess Jesper took with the pawn, because if queen or maybe even knight takes, hanging on g7 though. But if queen takes, then e4 would be a dream position for white. So e takes. Discourages e4 and tries to castle quickly and play rook e8 to, I guess, have some play in the e file. But yeah, but white does have the pair of bishops though.
Yeah. So is Linus going to castle queenside yet again?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
But bishop
either.
b5 might be a sign that he's planning to castle kingside.
Well, he got the option still.
At least he wants to increase his control over d4, which is important. So maybe he wants to take this one and play knight a2 and maybe even put the bishop on d4 just to control. Maybe even knight h3.
Yeah, what about putting the king on f2? I mean, the e3 pawn is quite weak, and...
You could do this now and play bishop d4.
Can you take an e3? No,
it doesn't work.
It's not possible.
Okay, so bishop d4, threatening this guy, so bishop b5 might be played. Okay, this is interesting.
It is.
This knight is lacking in good squares right now, so it needs to be rerouted somewhere, I guess to c5 or maybe even e5.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop b5 is also a move now. Could play knight e2 though and try to castle, yeah, bishop b5.
No good
Queen
discoveries,
D2.
really.
No,
Well,
right now.
b5, I guess.
Yeah, queen d2 will be played.
GM Donald Trump, we want Magnus. Yes.
I'm not sure-
Everyone wants
I'm
Magnus.
not sure who Magnus is, but
Well, it's the Moose version of Magnus, I think.
right. Is he good playing chess? The Moose version of Magnus?
I guess so, yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
I guess so.
Yes, even the Moose version of the world champion is good.
Do you know the difference of moose and elk?
No?
So moose is just found in Northern America. It's like a different species.
Is it in Canada? Or?
Yeah, in Canada typically. Well, elk is what we have in Norway.
Right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to
Mhm.
know there's a difference. 97, as well predicted, will go, I guess, to c5. e5 also possible. But if you go to c5, you have the option of recapturing with the pawn to improve your pawn structure. So the question is, can Linus just castle right now, or is there anything discouraging him from doing that?
Well, what's the alternative? Knight c3 or knight f4?
Knight c3 is definitely a move.
Or even, yeah, what I suggested earlier, king f2. But is the king really better on f2 than on g1? Maybe it is.
Yeah, there's an isolated pawn on d5 and on e3, so
And that's being mentioned.
what we call and refer to as isolert bonde in Norway.
Yep, in Menysk.
Yes.
Knight b3, big threat.
Big fork.
Big fork.
Yes. So how do you... Okay, queen b4 maybe? He just takes it, Linus. That's an interesting decision. I would not be confident in that decision, at least not without a real think, but...
Black should be better here, yeah? Oh, you can play e4 even.
It might be. e4 is not pretty, but again, if you can break with b4, then this could be a real weak.
Well, I'm not so sure. Because I take on e2 and play c4, and then I'm saying that these two pawns are actually monsters.
They could easily become monsters indeed, yeah.
I'm not sure if they are monsters,
Okay, so
but
take-
they're looking quite...
I think he goes for it,
Uh-huh.
and if queen d2 now, you have to
Then
play
D3,
d3 and then b3.
Okay, rook
and
C1
I'm not
seems
completely sure,
logical.
actually.
Okay, so...
You could play queen b6. That doesn't look stupid at all, actually, because if you take, then b5 is a resource to support the
Yeah,
pawn
but
chain.
then suddenly the king, White's king, is also coming to the rescue quite quickly.
I agree, you have the f5 break, but still
True.
it's not so easy. Queen f6 looks nice.
Rook d2 or queen d2?
Hmm.
Or rook c3.
Rook
Yeah.
c3, okay. We have our answer. And look at the
Yes.
Jesper's clock, 22 seconds to go. Linus been playing so fast in the last two games. Just over a minute now for Linus.
And Jesper is still deep into this screen.
And look at Linus, he can't seem to figure out this move. h5, he grabs on a7.
Yeah.
He's up a pawn, and he's effectively blocked the two pawns in the middle here.
He's
So
feeling his moustache, trying to figure
Yes.
out how to solve this
feeling
position.
his way in the position as well as
Yes.
in his moustache. That's nice to see. Rook b8, pressuring, of course, b2.
Yeah, that's a tricky move.
Very tricky. b3 not possible, of course, because queen will take.
Oh.
Okay. If this was possible, then it's looking very good for Linus. But we'll see. Is it possible to take here, or could you insert e5?
Yeah, I'm just reading about the elk moose.
Is it Frank Jacobsen's
Yes.
dissertation paper on the difference between moose and elk? Looks like it, at least, in terms of length.
Yeah, so I don't know what to conclude, but let's try and look at chess instead.
Yes. Frank can conclude. We trust you, Frank. So you can conclude on the elk moose business in the chat, and we'll see if Linus can manage to win this and tie the match. 14 seconds for Linus after rook e2. Jesper, of course, fighting for the initiative here, and it looks like it's going to be a very tough position to defend now for Linus after queen g6.
Gotta play g4.
g4, not what you want to do, and there's lots of entry squares here, so this is going to be
time
mate.
is ticking.
And this is mate, I think, for black, and it's going to be 3-1 for Jesper, and it is mate. A very nice counter-attacking win for Jesper. At least I thought Linus was in firm control at some point. An up and down game, roller coaster stuff, and again we see this Queen's Indian variation as we saw in game number 2.
They are both
3, I mean.
sticking to their guns.
Yes, they are, and Linus had a great success with this variation when he won the third game. But now it's 3-1, and he needs to win again to stay in contention for the bronze.
Alright, so last game he went bishop a6, is that right?
At some point, I don't think it was the
It
exact
wasn't
same
immediately?
position.
No,
because
it wasn't.
White had this inserted as well. Well, he did play knight c3 at some early stage, but same kind of position though. So interesting to see how Jesper plays. Bishop f4 is also quite normal in these variations. b3, of course, yes.
Knight e6.
To cover here, knight a6 might be nice to play knight b4 followed by a5. He decides rook c8 c5 is the plan.
Right. Just to try and open up for the bishop,
Yeah.
I suppose.
And whenever white plays e4, it's very tempting to take this one. Rarely good. You should just allow e5. That's the main rule in this position for black. You should allow e5.
How come is it?
Because c5 becomes much stronger when the center is closed with e5.
Yes,
so
right.
you allow this, and rarely white gets anything going on the king side, and of course then c5 is an effective break.
The GM here is full in character. Nice to see. Yeah?
Linus's beard let him down in the last game. Yes, we'll see if the beard can deliver.
Very sad.
The beard.
Yes.
Okay, so queen b1. And there's an X-ray attack against Linus's queen along the d file, so he needs to step out of this. But how to do that? I mean, you can't take on c4. Knight e6 would be curtains. Maybe queen e8.
Ooh,
e5 to play d4.
I
That's
like.
nice. I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, I'm not
this.
sure if I like. Maybe I like.
Yeah, I mean, knight f5, d4, you trade this one off, and if you lose this one, it's not a big issue because white is left with a bishop pointing at these two in the center. I guess that's black's argumentation, but I'm not sure if e3 is just a huge problem here.
Right.
This is not looking especially comfortable for black, I have to say. Maybe knight e4 before taking, I would consider this, but to get the bishop going. Again, we see Linus has played super fast, 2 minutes 15 seconds on the clock. Jesper,
knight b5 here, yeah? Just threatening to take
just to,
with
to
everything.
grab one
Black
of the pawns.
Black has 2 defenders, whereas white has 4 attackers on
Yes.
d4.
d4 is you
falling.
could even take with the bishop now. Okay. He decides knight takes is proper.
Does not look too good for Linus.
This looks actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
We have to check the Linus's pizza after the match. Might have been some substances in the pizza making him see, I guess, double or triple. I'm not sure.
Yep.
This is not the Linus from the match against.
Ooh, look at this.
Against Johansson. Knight g7. With knight f5 to follow, and look at this one on b2.
Very
monster
nice
on b2.
tactical blow here.
I guess he can just recapture.
It should work, yeah.
It should work.
Yeah,
this
even
is
rook
of course
takes.
even better.
Very nice tactical blow by Jesper.
Jesper is sharp today. Linus might be a bit tired after work. That's understandable. And rumor has it he had forgotten all about the match as well. So we'll ask him after the match.
And Linus should put his face closer to the screen. It seems to be working.
Obviously, yes, obviously, the one factor that carries Jesper through the match. Rook f4, and this is looking like torture for Linus, I'm afraid.
Yeah, real torture. Disaster if you...
So it's a 4-1 lead for Jesper, and
la
it's
la.
we're edging closer to a to final result here. 4-1. All he needs now is a win and a draw, or 3 draws for.
And
for
this
that
might
set.
actually be the quickest match of them all.
How was Arian against Ellen? How quick was that?
Well,
Because that was 6-0, right?
It was quite quick, but they kept on playing for quite a while.
Okay.
I think they played at least 10 games, just
Alright.
just for fun, pretty much.
And Mrs. Pushin is mocking a very American pronunciation of the
The
mall.
mall, yes. She's probably referring to "Let's go to the mall."
Yes.
Made
we see-
famous by Robin Sparkles.
And we see again this Bishop d2 Nimzo Indian, but this time Jesper chooses a different approach with d5, claiming a stake in the center.
Maybe we should change perspective.
Maybe that will help you.
Yeah.
Should we try it for this game?
Yeah, we could
We'll
try
try.
it.
See it from Linus's perspective.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's check how it is to be Swedish. Rook d1 from Linus.
Yeah, now suddenly I like white a lot better. Actually, not even kidding.
I mean, often you like your own positions better, right? Than
Me personally, or
no, just
generally?
in general. I mean, I often over-evaluate, or at least sometimes I can over-evaluate my own positions.
Yeah.
But if I had been given those positions from a neutral perspective, I wouldn't be so convinced.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not too sure actually. Sometimes I have a negative perspective on my position as
yes,
well.
but you carry on nevertheless. So
Yeah, of course,
Of
you gotta
course.
you gotta do that. But yeah,
Linus is really blitzing out his moves.
he is.
3 minutes and a second on the clock. Jesper is taking his time, and this is looking actually quite nice for white with 2 bishops in a semi-open position. It looks comfortable for Linus. This must be said that this is probably I guess this is the 3rd game he plays the bishop d2 Nimso, and I think he's gotten good positions in all games.
Yes, good positions, but thrown them away pretty much.
Lost every single one.
Yes.
So we'll see if he can.
Especially the one with the mate in 2 was.
Yes, that was quite ugly actually.
Yeah.
That was mostly sad.
That was not I am worthy. Let's now.
Okay. Takes
grabs.
on c4.
I mean, you
and
can take on
Bishop
f3, but
d5.
it looks a bit artificial.
And he takes on f3, but now king h1 with g1
this
might
looks
be.
like I definitely want to pick
Okay,
white
so
here.
I guess knight will come to d5 and try to exchange this one off, and if he can manage to do that, then at least some of white's attacking potential is reduced, or at least limited to a degree. Evaporated indeed, yes.
Right, so the bishop pair now.
I'm not so pessimistic now, actually.
For black,
Bishop e5 to g3. I didn't see this.
I still think white is better.
Of course, white is better, but it looked pretty bad for a couple of moves ago. But okay, if white can manage to keep his dark square bishop, then I think this is pretty good.
Pretty good. All right.
Okay, at least black has a stable knight on d5, so that's at least
stable
something.
for now. That is
For
H4.
now, yes. H4 will probably be played.
Seems like a decent move.
Might even be the only playable move, because the bishop didn't have many squares, so h4 is played.
Would be trapped defaults. Yeah, maybe.
Queen f6. Yes.
Oh, sorry. This is not because of the chess, but rather.
Bishop e2 maybe from white to cover this one.
What about king e2?
King g2.
King
Yes.
g2.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
e4. Okay, made a big decision, allowing of course the knight to f4 squared. This is not available at the moment because white can take everything.
Where does the knight go though?
I'm not sure. I mean, this is struggling, and this square is not even available.
Yeah.
So do you have to take on f3 then and hope it works?
Wow.
It
Okay.
doesn't, of course, but.
So that's a tactic we missed for sure.
f4 would have given white an extra pawn. How to win a pawn with white here, according to Madlan Nitnidia. f4 because now the bishop is a pawn as well. So and white is a pawn.
That's the trick.
Yes.
That's the trick.
Okay, so he had to take on f3, bite in the sour apple, as we say.
Yeah. Can you take on c5?
He
Is
could,
it necessary?
if
What about just bishop e2?
bishop e2 to consolidate a bit.
Yeah.
This will hang in the next move as well, so this looks logical. Okay, bishop b7.
Just trade off all the pieces.
Yeah.
All the pieces.
Looks like a practical decision from Linus, who's in desperate need of points.
Yeah.
Down 4-1. He needs a couple of fast wins now.
Definitely looks like he's gonna get some points here though. Have you trouble sleeping because of the tickling of in your moustache, JK?
Lots of focus on your moustache today.
Not this far, no.
No.
Okay, grab
No
us.
tickling as of yet.
Grab us.
Right, rook takes was a smart move though,
Why?
because takes and now take on c5 is not possible.
Because
d1 is hanging.
d1 is hanging. Yes, you are, of course, right. Ooh, queen d3. Oh, very rookie one.
Yes.
Tricky.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there you saw some messages you were not supposed to.
I'm not sure you did, but G6, I'm not sure what we saw there. G6, F6.
It wasn't code.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top secret stuff, guys.
Yes. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. King G7.
Still rook E1 is a threat.
Yes, super annoying.
After taking a
actually.
D5, yeah.
Okay, so
This is still really clear, right?
it should be Queen E7.
Now take on
C5.
C5. Yeah.
Queen D1, King H2, and there's no perpetual here, so
Why not go to G2?
that was just maybe it was better.
Queen B5.
Felt more natural to keep it on the white square.
What? Oh, Queen G8.
Queen G8 and it's over. Yeah, forcing a trade of queens.
Yep.
And that should be the nail in the coffin for this game, and it is, and it's
It is.
4-2.
It is 4-2. We are calling it before it actually happens, but
Could have actually played Queen H7 followed by F4 and then winning the Queen straight up, but
we claim this as a victory, right?
yes,
Yeah.
remove the arrow.
And there we have it. It actually did make a difference for us viewing it from Linus's perspective, yeah?
Yes, apparently it did. So 4-2, that's good news for Linus. Of course, he's still in dire straits because Jesper only needs 1.5 points to win the match.
Now we are still looking at it from Linus's perspective.
Yes.
He is eating pizza like a champion who just
a champ.
won a game.
And is playing in the Queen's Indian again, and if he plays it like a champ, he'll win this game as well.
Yeah. All right.
E4
Early
now.
E4.
D5 probably necessary, or maybe even knight B4 first.
What's the point of waiting with D5? Like Linus played knight A6, which is a bit strange to me.
Mm-hmm. No, I can understand.
But well, now he gets this kind of structure that you talked about earlier.
You might want to lure white to play
Play
E4 because it might not be in white's favor actually to close the center like this, because now black is the one with the pawn breaks in the center, and of course DC4 after taking might be possible. F5 might even be a move. I guess this and maybe even take on C4 is possible.
Okay, yeah. Because you take whenever you take backward, something is hanging, yeah.
Yes, because D4 is also a weakness. Time control is 3+2, that's correct, and it's best out of 10 games. Jesper, Thybo in the lead, 4-2 against Linus Johansson in this bronze finals.
So it's the first to 5.5, and if we get a score of 5-5, they will play 2 games to decide who's the winner. If it's still equal, then repeat.
Another 2 games. Yes. So there's no
another one.
Yeah, we don't reduce the time control. We'll just keep on going until we have a winner. Yeah.
That is right.
Okay, black's a pawn up.
Yeah.
Black has the bishop here, and it looks like another, I'm gonna say it, success for Linus with the black pieces. Another
opening success. Well, it's not like he had all of his games were opening successes, but
no. But in this match, I think he's done well in the opening, Linus, because with white he has done pretty well with his bishop d2 Nimzo.
Yeah.
With the Queen's Indian, he's been very solid. The first game was a Benoni.
Yes.
Or at least an attempt, an invitation to
invitation to Benoni.
Yeah, which was declined. But
why would you accept h6 though? Why not play h6 yourself?
So a dark square though, which
position.
you control the dark squares with black.
Okay.
So if you play h6, then white can torment you on the white squares. I guess that's the logic though.
All right.
I think that's the point. Of course, there are advantages and disadvantages of allowing this pawn to go all the way to h6. I think Linus is comfortable that this will be more weakness than an asset for white.
Yeah, but then again, okay, so you claim that black is controlling the dark squares, but if white gets to play his pawns to g5 and f4, then...
Big if, though.
Yeah, but then the pawns are compensating for white's lack of a dark squared bishop.
Absolutely. But then again, it could be in an endgame, Black's bishop might get around this pawn chain. So
Yeah, true.
again, advantages, disadvantages. We'll see how they handle this position. Of course, White wants his knight to e4 to control important squares, and maybe even f4 is on the cards as well here. We'll see.
Yeah. Knight g5. That's just to go to e4, I guess, right?
He doesn't take on c4 though. That's interesting.
Could have taken, yeah.
Yeah. So knight e4 now.
Yeah, a knight jumping into f6. That's quite
Yes.
annoying.
Maybe c5 now is a move that Black will consider. Yes.
It is a move, and
Now
it was considered. It was even played.
Yes.
Yes.
I would really consider taking on c4 now. Maybe even checking
You don't
on
want
f6
to
first.
insert a knight f6 first.
Might do that as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Knight f6, king h8. Maybe grab this one and then take on c4. But again, h6 is hanging. So
It is. It is. It is.
Yeah. and he does it. Jesper, I think he will take on b7 and on c4.
Okay, but in my
How do
simple
you-
mind, I wanna get something in the H file. If you take on what?
Ooh. Look at Linus. No.
What?
No.
No, that was
No,
a
that
pure
was-
mouse slip, yeah?
That was a mouse slip. I'm not sure about the position. It was exciting, that's for sure. But now Jesper only needs a draw.
Ah, that's so sad though.
That's super sad. Yes, it was.
Nej.
Nej, grabben.
Nej,
Kille.
Linus. Oh, this stuff. This is a Haldorsen specialty, yeah?
Yeah, he often, and then he goes for the e5 move, as I was about to say. Haldorsen usually does this as well, and this is some Lila recommendation, I think. I'm not sure if it's in this exact position, but it's at least something Benjamin Haldorsen has had reasonable success with.
Yes.
I think so. He's been
In classical
in
as
classical chess, yes,
Mhm.
he's actually beaten Jesper in this kind of
well. That is right.
in this kind of position, and Jesper in that game opted not to take when given the chance.
Alright, so the pawn structure here is very strange, right? Because white has an isolated double pawn in the c file, whereas black has this
Backwards pawn on d6.
backwards pawn on
Yeah.
d6. So I'm not sure which is weaker.
Because I mean, if black were given a choice of just winning this pawn for free, just removing it from the board, I think he would decline, because this would just liberate this bishop
Right.
on c1. So the point is basically to restrict white's bishops here, not to win the pawns necessarily.
Right.
So the pawn structure right now I think is in black's favor, but of course that's also subject to discussion, because white can get this f pawn going and suddenly the bishop on c1 gets super active. Okay, f5 is a brilliant move, necessary to counter the activation of this one.
Yeah. Okay, so you're really playing to keep that dark square.
Just to restrict it, yes.
yeah,
as much
bishop
as you can.
out of the game as much
And this
as
is something we've seen earlier. I think Magnus played a playoff game, a tiebreak game with white. I'm not sure if it was against Nakamura in one of the tour tournaments. He played the same-ish with white in the Nimso, a3. And we got this kind of position where Nakamura played f5 to restrict his bishop, and white was just worse positionally. And I think Magnus lost the game as well. So this is interesting, and it's quite thematic from Jesper, and we'll see how Linus plays this position. As far as I can see, positionally, white is a bit worse, but he has some active possibilities in the d file, and of course black's king might be a bit airy, but as far as I can see, black looks pretty safe for now.
Alright, so what about routing the bishop via e3, f2 to h4?
If you can, then
Yeah.
yes, but
Can I? Do I have time for it? And
depends.
is it even good if I get it to
Is
h4?
it even good? I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a 4-5 move maneuver that doesn't really
For sure.
grant you something, but we'll see. He can win a pawn on d6 now.
Okay.
That's okay. He can't actually win a pawn because rook d8 is a problem.
Ah, right.
So queen e7 is a very smart move and probably something Linus had missed. At least it looks like it from his facial expression on the web camera now.
And maybe we are about to have a decided match here because
If the d6 pawn
Linus
doesn't fall,
needs to win 3 games in a row right here.
Yes.
If he gives away even half a point, the match is over.
Ooh, and now it's gonna be in curtains, I think, because trading queens in this position is not what White wants. At least Jesper has the opportunity to take. I mean, this could be actually advantageous for White if he gets his bishop into the position, but this looks impossible, at least for now.
Well, g3,
Yes.
just to support the f4 square.
g3, of course, giving the black bishop a lot of.
I mean,
opportunities as
it
well.
opens up,
It opens up, yeah.
but
Knight e5 looks like a reasonable move. Bishop d3, bishop c6 maybe.
bishop what?
Bishop c6 or bishop d3.
Yeah.
Remember, draw is fine for Jesper. He only needs a draw in this game, and looks like a fair chance this will be tonight's last game.
Yeah, bishop d3, then knight takes c5.
Yes.
Yeah, this does look like a draw though, yeah? Well, I'm not sure.
And then follow up with b6 or maybe even rook e8. Rook e8 now maybe, b6 played.
b6 seems...
Probably unnecessary this, but c4 is falling though, so...
Yeah, it is. And it's not even important to take that pawn, I think.
No.
It's like
rook f7 maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
a2 is also hanging. Rook f7 now will definitely be played.
Okay, so he's going for it. Because if you now take on a2, then suddenly c4 for white.
Yeah, and then the bishop is...
and the bishop is in the game, and that's very uncommon. Yeah, that's tricky.
King g8 played. Okay, that's also a fine move. Preparing rook f7, keeping the white bishop out of the game. g3, your move.
Yeah.
Now rook f7 looks like a must play move, yes. And
Chess
rook
or what?
Okay.
Well, then you can just go back.
Yeah, just grab it and go back, right?
Yeah, or even go back immediately.
I guess this will be played as well. To prepare this maybe.
Yeah, then bishop f4.
And if you play a3 in this position with white, it means you don't have anything. So this is probably the last game of the evening, guys. And I'm pretty confident Jesper will win this match. I'm not sure he will win this game because it's down to 30 seconds. At least that's Linus's main hope, that he will trick Jesper in some time scramble. We'll see.
Well, it's not...
I didn't like king f8.
Why not?
I mean, why not just bring your other rook into the game? But,
yeah.
Okay.
Rook f6 now, maybe? Nah. Just trying to find some resources here for white.
Bishop back to c4. And is there anything here? Rook f5, okay. Rook e7.
Yeah.
Rook f7.
Well, is there a difference?
Rook e7, rook f1 maybe? Unnecessary, but...
yeah, it's a funny line though.
Yeah. Okay, now rook f6. Must be the point, right?
Is it good? Maybe it is good. Nah, probably not.
I'm just taking rook e8 and
shouldn't be a problem.
Shouldn't really be a problem, no.
Nope. No problem whatsoever.
Okay, I'm not so sure. I mean, it's a pass pawn after all, so if there's supposed to be any chance here, then... Okay, I guess you will take it, or maybe even... yeah, you should...
Insert bishop h6.
Okay, I was about to say keep the rooks on the board, but bishop h6, rook d7. No.
Yeah, that seemed like a decent...
Looked more logical to me, but he seems desperate to keep both this pawn and the rook on the board, so... But now c4 and...
both in a time scramble as well now, or... Yeah. This is what happens when you try and win too hard or push too hard, I think.
Okay, rook e1.
Well,
still some chances.
Yeah, it's not
h6
over yet. King f4. No. Ooh, I'm trapping my own bishop here.
Yes. And this I'm just check. So King F7.
Well,
there's a check, but
try and grab as many pawns as possible.
It's not over, and it's 10 seconds for Linus, 17 for Jesper. G5. Now it's over.
That should be
it. Would have also followed after these moves, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, a very
And
convincing
there we
victory
have
in
it.
the end for Jesper, 6-2, and surprisingly, at least a bit surprising to me that Linus didn't score more points. He was a bit unlucky and wasn't really his day, I guess.
Yeah.
He's eating now, so I'm sure he's ready for a quick chat.
Yeah, let's take let's have a chat with the players. All right, guys. Congratulations, Jesper. Convincing match victory here.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit lucky in the game where you blundered the queen.
Yeah, that was just a mouse slip, was it?
Yeah, it was a mouse slip for sure.
But I blundered so much. Also in the game where I blundered GP3, I guess it's also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mate in two.
Maybe you have some compensation there, but I felt like we were much stronger tactically, but positionally I felt like even game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel I was playing so well in them somehow.
No, I agree.
But I mean, also, I don't know. I didn't expect this Bishop D2 line. It wasn't so easy for me. I don't know.
No, I mean, that's a bit modern now. Didn't Omen play in a couple of games?
Yeah, maybe. I didn't expect it at least. But
I think that I'm lazy my own place.
no, I didn't see that. Okay, yeah, but I think I had some good games and also some bad games. Like especially this Bishop game where I lost. I mean, I don't know. It was quite hard actually for White to play. Like it was.
Yeah, but maybe you can just look down.
Maybe I should play for F4, but
Yeah, but do you have you to play A4? You can just.
yeah, I mean, maybe after B5 I should take. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you don't have to do everything.
Do you remember the position or the game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Linus'
It's
first
like,
win, game
you know,
3.
You shouldn't lose these positions, but somehow sometimes it's a bit tricky. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. I guess Black has the step.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop now.
Okay. But anyways, I thought I played some good games also, so I was pretty happy with the match actually.
Yeah,
Except was, I think I was really unlucky you blundered this. If you take a B7, I mean, you still have good chances of the match, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's part of online, I guess.
Yeah. But I think I have this.
Okay, so what's the commentator saying? Be quiet.
Yes, so apparently, so Linus, would you say Jesper is stronger in Blitz than Johann Sebastian?
I think he played much better. I mean, I suppose I had called people inside when he punished my mistakes. I mean, also, last game was some wild games.
Yeah, we have a little bit of
Blitz is a bit up and down, you know. You play some good matches, play some bad matches, so
yeah.
you never know.
I just played that.
Yeah, we have a bit of an echo issue here, but I think we're going to say thank you both for playing, and once again, congratulations, Jesper, with your victory. And we'll see you later. Yeah.
I hope the pizza was good, Linus.
Thanks.
It will be very good. And maybe some hamburgers, I don't know. Maybe cool.
Okay, guys, thanks.
See you.
Hey. All right.
Okay, a couple of interesting notes from the games here. The players noted that they were not sure about the evaluation in the game where Linus unfortunately dropped his queen by mistake. We have consulted the computer, of course, as we have no clue. But we were curious about this line in the game, and according to the computer, this is actually good for white. And I'm not completely sure about why, but I guess it's this monstrous knight on f6, which is doing a massive job. But I was actually looking at something like this. Okay, you can't do this, but something like this, and I was actually quite fond of black's position. But it looks like white can keep the pawn on h6 under protection, and it looks good for white according to the computer, even though it's not super clear.
Yeah, it's not clear to me at all why.
I guess white can save this pawn and also have this resource available if he wants to break this up. I guess it's something like this, but I guess if you can manage to get your queen to f4, your knight to e3, then you have the ideal setup. But
yeah,
I'm not sure. I guess the computer wants to play queen e4 to interrupt this plan with black. That's also interesting. And in one of the first, at least the first game Linus won with black, he criticized Jesper's decision to play a4 in this endgame and said that he could have just waited, probably played something like this. And of course, if we get the same bishop endgame here, black could of course keep the queens on.
Right.
This would be much more solid for white, as there are no breaks for black here. No matter how black breaks on the queen side, then white will just respond in kind, and it will be
so it's way harder for black to break through then.
There's no hook to attack on the queen side. So a4 was criticized at least by Linus as maybe not bad, but at least a bad practical decision. So,
right.
Yeah. That's interesting to know. Interesting take on the games from the players. They agreed that the Nimso games, as we thought, was a success for Linus, even though his conversion rate was pretty low.
Yeah, he had some issues today with
some blunders. Yeah.
Yeah, at least he pretty much threw away 2 games.
Yeah, like so 2 full points out of the window.
Of the window completely.
Or not 2 points per se, but he could have easily got something from these 2 games, and then they just blundered and made in 2
Yeah. 2 positions at least.
Yeah, 2 favorable positions. Yes. Let's just call it that. Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Yeah, that was a good hour of chess, I would say.
Yes,
either way.
Entertaining stuff, and of course a small appetizer before the main course tomorrow, the final between GMs Arian Tari and Jan Sebastian.
The grand finale between number 2 and number 3 in Norway, both 2-6 players.
Yeah,
in
super grandmasters as we call them. Yes, so it's going to be super interesting. What's your prediction about the match?
I am so
that one is hard to predict.
So uncertain. For all I know, it could be the first 5-5 that we have seen
easily. Yes.
I guess it depends quite a bit on their daily form.
Depends on how much Among Us Johan Sebastian plays tonight with us. I think. I think that's the main factor. That would be my main concern. As if I was Johan Sebastian's manager, I would probably forbid Among Us tonight. But we'll see if he comes well rested tomorrow. Linus didn't today, unfortunately, and he had to pay the price against a sharp Jesper Thybo.
Do you know if they have played lately or fairly recently Blitz, like in an official match? I don't
think so.
Yeah, because they played each other in classical chess, and as far as I know, Arian has a plus score there.
I think Arian has a plus score, but it is some time ago, and Johan Sebastian has made leaps of. He's made such progress in the last year only.
Yeah.
So it's not really representative, I think. But I think Arian enjoys a plus score there, but we'll see how they play in Blitz tomorrow. Online Blitz is also different from over-the-board Blitz, where Johan Sebastian is known to be very strong. Or of course, Arian also a top Blitz player. It will be interesting to see. It will be very interesting to see.
Absolutely. So tomorrow, tune in at the same time. So at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah. Central Eastern.
Central Eastern European time.
Yes.
Something like this. Yeah. And for a great chess event, pretty much.
Yeah.
We will both be commenting that as well.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately for you guys in the chat.
unfortunately, we will be back tomorrow with I guess more or less the same.
Yeah, I will try and read up on elk versus moose.
Yes.
And you should also, of course, bring in a fun fact to the game.
I will try. Yes.
Yeah, very good. All right. Thank you guys for following us today and following the match of the Nordics.
Remember to follow us on social media as well, guys. I mean, there are links available for you to the left of the board, as you can see. I would especially recommend YouTube.
Yeah, this handsome guy has played in a lot of videos with great content.
We made some short recording, guys, from at least different types of
Samish,
content.
Your very famous Samish.
Yes, my famous Samish. Yes. There are some videos on our YouTube channel, and there are some articles and news on our website, and of course we are updating frequently on Twitter, not so frequently on Instagram. You have to get better at that.
I know.
Follow us, guys, make us happy, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you want to be a part of Offerspilt Chess Club, take a look at our webpage, offerspilt.com.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Alright, I think that's it for today. Bye-bye. You also say bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.